Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've seen a report that says last year there was a 2.2% drop in our tourism or tourist visit to our country. And yung pre-pandemic years, hindi na tayo naka-recover and it keeps dropping. And of course, may mga reasons binigay sa atin ng ating gobyerno, Department of Tourism. Nandiyan yung infrastructure na pag-usapan natin kanina, yung airport, seaport, of course, airfares, roads, etc. And dagdag pa dyan, sabi nga ng Department of Tourism, maliit lang yung budget natin sa marketing, $52 million compared to $52 million compared to hundreds of millions of dollars sa other countries. So, ang point ko rito ngayon is kung anong meron, pagtiyagaan na lang natin siguro muna. Okay? So, having said that, para sa akin, ang focus siguro natin sa marketing. Nakikita ko. Pero bago natin pag-usapan sa marketing, pag-usapan muna natin anong reason bakit nagkaroon ng draft ng tourist visit from Korea. And isa dyan, nakita ko ata dahil may namatay ata na Korean tourist. So kumalat yun sa Korea. So peace and order, is that a problem? And then number two, bakit nagkaroon ng big drop sa tourist arrivals from China? Is it because of West Philippine Sea, may tension sa country ng Philippines and China? So naging maigpit ang China sa kanilang mga advisories dahil na wag pumunta mo ng Pilipinas and all. Now, let's talk about marketing. Okay, yes, $52 million. That's roughly 3 billion pesos. Bakit hindi tayo makipag-tie up sa mga travel bloggers? Marami yan mga travel bloggers. We connect with them, whether local or abroad. So kung target natin ay mga Korean tourist, so dapat makipag-tie up tayo sa mga vloggers ng mga Koreano. Kung target natin Japan, makipag-tie up tayo sa mga vloggers na Japanese para i-promote yung ating bansa. I think kulang tayo sa departamentong yan. And may nakita akong vlog ng Amerikano, Mr. Chair, sa TikTok, sinisiraan tayo. Sa halip na puriin tayo, ang nakalagay pa ata doon, Boracay, ano bang caption niya doon? Paradise or scam? Para malaman ng ating Secretary ng Tourism, pagdating mo doon sa Boracay, meron kang nakalagay doon, non-tourist and tourist. So merong pila ang non-tourist at may pila ang tourist. Sa tourist, foreign tourist. Nakalagay pala local tourist and then foreign tourist. Merong 5 pupuntang kang booth at bawat booth mag-register ka doon at meron kang babayaran. Doon pa lang nakikita na parang scam agad. This is going to Boracay. So ba't kinakailangan pang pipila ka ng maraming beses para lamang ikaw ay makasakay sa bangka? And then bakit kailangan pa, kini-question niya, ba't kailangan pa magbayad sa environmental fee? Why do they have... Anyway, lahat naman ng turista, whether local or foreign, why do we have to pay for environmental fee going to Boracay? Saan na pupunta yon? Sana i-absorb na lang yon ng mga hotels. Doon na lang dapat sa hotel. Quietly na pwedeng idagdag na doon. Bakit kailangan pang ibalando natin na kailangan nyo magbayad ng environmental fees? So yan siguro we have to eliminate doon sa Boracay at napakaraming dadaan ng mga booth para lamang makapunta ka ng Boracay.
And I agree, Senator Tulfo. May experience din ako dahil ako'y mahilig magmotor. Pag pumunta ko sa mga bundok, no? Yung mga tourist destinations, may environmental fee, maraming tourism fee, maraming pang fee. Minsan kasi siguro yung mga LGUs, nagiging enterprising sila, naghahanap din sila. So dapat yun pag-usap-usap, mamaya marinig natin kay Secretary Frasco. Saan pa yung may mga ganyang problema?
Sana pupunta yung budget na yon. So siguro ito napupunta sa mga LGU. I'm sorry to say na baka kinukurakot lang ng mga taga-LGU yung environmental fee at kung ano ng mga fees na sinisingil. At wala naman tayo nakikita ng mga taga-LGU na naglilinis ng mga karagatan, mga beach, or anything like that. Wala eh. Ang nakikita ko, alam mo, sa Boracay, harap mo, linis mo. Ibig sabihin, yung hotel, ang lilinis ng harap niya. Wala akong nakikita ng taga-LGU. So why charge for environmental fees na mapupunta sa LGU or sa DOT na hindi naman napupunta? Doon talaga sa dapat pupuntahan. Isa pa sa nakikita ko, I'm very sorry, Secretary Frasco, parang lumilitaw na ikaw ay nagiging vlogger na it will not sell pag doon sa mga marketing materials natin, puro mukha mo ang nakalagay doon. It shouldn't happen kasi another thing one thing na na-notice ko, halimbawa, meron tong sa Japan ba ito? Magazine. I think it's a free magazine. Pagkakataon na sana natin na para sumikat tayo sa Japan, yung tourism industry natin, sa halip, ang nakalagay dito, ikaw ng ikaw, and then yung mga groundbreaking, pinapakita natin sa halip na dapat ipapakita natin yung underground river, the 8 wonders of the world, yun, Tabon Cave, etc. Ang pinakita doon, kayo po, at saka yung mga groundbreaking ceremony, which will not sell. If we want to sell something, pakita po natin yung mga tanawin o yung mga reasons why tourists will visit the country. Kasama na po dyan yung mga lugar na pwede pupuntahan, food, wellness, di ba, adventure. Those are the things that people would like to see, the tourists. And pumunta po ako sa website natin, wala ako masyadong nakikita ng mga lugar na kaakit-akit na para mainganyo yung mga tourist na pumunta. Nakikita ko puro mga festivals. I don't know kung iba yung napupuntahan ko website. Yeah, maganda po yung festivals. Pero kung kailangan natin talagang ma-invite yung mga tourists to come to our country, ano ba yung reason ba't nagtutour yung mga tao? Hindi naman po sa puro festival ang pinupunta ng mga turista rito. Of course, maganda yung festival. Pupunta sila rito for adventure, wellness, food, culture, and things like that. So yun po dapat ang binebenta natin. Huwag po natin ibinebenta yung maling mga bagay na hindi naman in-expect ng tourists when they arrive in our country. And lastly, dapat yung pagdating pa lamang sa airport, we have to identify who are the tourists, if possible, na vlogger. Kasi malaking dagok to sa atin na pag meron isang vlogger pumunta rito tapos siniraan tayo, magkakaroon ng domino effect yun sa bansa na kung saan sila, not only doon bansa sa kung saan sila, kundi yung mga followers nila. Tulad nitong American na vlogger, meron pang isa, siniraan tayo, at least itong American, medyo pino pa siya, kaya lang nakasira. So, dapat po, DOT, makipag-tie up po tayo sa mga local vloggers. Marami naman tayong mga local vloggers dito eh. Makipag-tie up po tayo sa mga foreign vloggers. I'm sure makakatulong in one way or the other. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Probably we can continue.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Secretary Frasco.
may I be given an opportunity to?
Yes, please.
Yes. First of all, Mr. Chair, I'm very grateful to Senator Tulfo for bringing up the necessary interventions as far as safety and security is concerned, as this is indeed one of the most important sources of travel confidence coming into the country. And therefore, we are in full agreement that there is a need to ensure that the whole of government is working as far as tourist safety. On the side of the Department of Tourism, to the extent that our mandate allows, our Office of Human Capital Development has trained over 8,000 tourist police that are designated in various destinations in the country in partnership with the Department of Interior and the PNP. In addition to this, in conjunction with our work with the Korean Embassy as well as the Korean Cultural Center, we have also begun trainings on Korean-speaking tourist police. Third, with the establishment of the Tourist Assistance Call Center, a first in the Philippines, we have also already trained and deployed Korean-speaking call center agents. The call center is 151 Tour or 8687, and it has already received over 23,000 calls. But then again, all of these efforts are for naught with a single or repeated instance of harm put upon our tourists by lawless elements. This is why we continue with our advocacy that tourist safety should be a top priority. So prevailing has been this advocacy on the part of the Department of Tourism that we have actually proposed the convening of a national tourism task force on tourist safety. My understanding is that this is now with the DILG for review, and the composition of this task force will be various law enforcement agencies in partnership with our local government units. We await the convening of this national task force, even as we continue to work with various embassies all over the world. Pertaining to international tourist arrivals, we would just like to put on record that data presented by the Bureau of Immigration together with eTravel shows that in 2025, a total number of 6.48 million international arrivals came upon the Philippines. This is a composite of foreign citizens as well as overseas Filipinos. If you compare the data from 2025 to 2024, using the same metrics of Bureau of Immigration and eTravel, there's actually a 0.76 growth rather than a decline. That being said, we recognize the challenges of the South Korean market. The decline in their outbound travel is not limited to the Philippines, but is seen all over the Southeast Asian region. With that, we have worked very closely with the Korean Embassy, our Korean communities, as well as our tourism attachés and the Tourism Promotions Board, precisely to ramp up efforts on promotions specific to the South Korean market. We have also sought to diversify our markets, veering away from a very high dependency on particular markets alone. With that, we have opened up the Indian market. Our president has shifted the policy from requiring visas to having visa-free travel from India to the Philippines. And this, in conjunction with the inaugural flights from Delhi to Manila, which began on October 1 at 3 times daily and which was increased to 5 times daily in December, we have immediately seen a 21% growth from the Indian market. In addition to this, challenges in recovering the Chinese market have also been devastating as far as tourism is concerned in the Philippines. Since 2023, the Department of Tourism has advocated for the institution of an electronic travel system for China, knowing how our competitors have liberalized their visa policies coming from China. The Department of Foreign Affairs instituted the eTravel only to suspend the same a few months later. We did not stop with our advocacy for liberalized visa policies, and we're pleased that very recently, visa-free travel from China has been announced. We do not anticipate an immediate surge in Chinese arrivals, but we do anticipate that since demand from China, according to our Beijing and Shanghai offices, has never waned, that there will be a gradual increase, especially in light of the forthcoming Chinese New Year celebrations. Even so, we recognize that recovery of flights coming from China is less than 50%. And therefore, we request the Civil Aeronautics Board, as well as our partners in the aviation industry, to help as far as accessibility coming into the Philippines and to help in the recovery of flights. Speaking of flights, I understand that the conversation on managing ticket prices is a going concern. This has been talked about not only now, but for many years now. And the solution always seems to be a long-term one. We either reclaim, we either extend the runway, or have to construct facilities that will address this problem, not now, but in the years to come. What has not found too much information or conversation in the public sphere is the fact that the airline industry is a deregulated industry by virtue of an executive order that was issued in 2011, and also in light of international treaties entered into by the Philippines. And so, it is a humble suggestion on the part of the Department of Tourism that since this is an investigation in aid of legislation, that perhaps it is high time that we revisit the regulations or lack of regulations as far as airline ticket pricing is concerned. My understanding is that the chief regulatory body of this matter is the Civil Aeronautics Board, which is why the Department of Tourism, as early as last year, presented its request to the CAB. First, to present a monthly index of ticket pricing for all airlines in order that there be no market shocks as far as the public is concerned, and in order that the CAB may be able to strictly implement its suggested price ceiling. Without a strict implementation of this matter, and without revisiting the deregulation of the airline industry, it is very difficult on the Department of Tourism to manage a matter that is simply not within its mandate. That being said, as far as promotions is concerned, and which is our chief mandate, I would like to put on the record a matter that has been already clarified by the Department of Tourism. In that, the magazine that bore my image, called Philippine Topics, that was published in Japan and subsequently distributed for free, absolutely had no consent, funding, or information on the part of myself or on the part of the Department of Tourism. I did not pay for that magazine. No government funds were used for that magazine, and my consent was never obtained in the use of my image for that magazine. That being said, I wish to clarify that the Department of Tourism maintains two social media sites. One is the corporate site, which reports on the activities of the agency as well as the head of its agency. As far as the programs and projects of the Department of Tourism is concerned, and inevitably, as I have sought as best I can to be as present as possible in all the destinations in the country that have been visited by us in the past 3 years, perhaps that is the reason why my face prominently appears in the Department of Tourism's website, as that reports on our activities. On the other hand, there is a marketing platform of the DOT that reports on all of the destinations and markets all of the destinations in conjunction as well with the sites of the Tourism Promotions Board. So we wish to assure this committee that the Department of Tourism has worked as hard as it could as far as promotions is concerned, and has advocated as fiercely as possible as far as matters that can help or harm Philippine tourism, but are simply not entirely within the mandate of the DOT. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, yeah, thank you for that clarification, Secretary Frasco. You did say that you never give your consent to this magazine, Japanese magazine, for your picture to be featured in this magazine, free magazine. So what did you do after you learned that they use your picture, your image, and all, and even some items here that describes who you are? So how did they know who you are without you or some of your people telling them? And what did you do after you've learned, for example, if it's really true what you're saying, that they were using your pictures without their consent? Did you do anything?
Yes, definitely, Mr. Senator. An immediate investigation was conducted upon my directive, and this is how we were able to find out that Philippine Topics magazine had sought permission to cover the Philippine Expo Pavilion in Japan. This was during the launch of the Philippine National Day of the country in Osaka Expo. And so they were given access to cover the Philippine National Day in Osaka. And my understanding is that the photo that was used as cover for the magazine was lifted from the coverage of that particular event. And the contents of the magazine are all lifted content. These are not the product of interviews that were conducted by them towards me, as there was never any. Therefore, after having learned that they were given access to the Osaka Expo, a demand letter had then been sent to Philippine Topics. First, to establish for the record that the magazine was in no way a directive or an editorial decision on the part of the DOT, and that no government funds were used in the publication
Yes,
of
ma'am.
the
I
magazine.
understand that. So since may pag-amin po sa inyo na walang authority or you did not authorize them to use your pictures in this magazine, so para makabawi sila, bakit hindi niyo lang po kontakin ulit sila this time around with your authorization na mag-publish tayo ng mga magagandang tanawin sa Pilipinas, who we are and what are the places that they can go. It's free anyway, you said, right? So why not contact them? Parang quits na tayo. Sige, nilagay nyo kami dyan ng walang paalam. Ngayon naman, may paalam na kayo, pero itong ilalagay nyo. So we will dictate to them what we want published in their magazine since it's free. Why don't we do that? Kasi mataas ang circulations nito, I would suppose, because it's a free magazine. At maganda, glossy to magazine na ito. So why don't we take advantage of that?
My
And also,
understanding-
ma'am, huwag ka magalit, kasi marami na akong natatanggap ng mga feedback from other people na pagdating sa promotions, dapat ang pinopromote yung lugar, hindi dapat yung tao. Iwas tayo dun sa personality. We have to promote yung mga pupuntang lugar. Like I said, yung underground river sa Palawan, I think it's 8 wonders of the world ata. Is that considered? Tabon Cave, so many other places that we can feature na maingganyo po yung mga tourists to come over to our country. At i-minimize po natin yung mga festival. Okay, festivals, good. But the tourists will not come to the Philippines because of the festival. They come to the Philippines because of our beaches, the adventure that they can take advantage of, yung mga diving sites, etc. So nakita ko kasi sa isang website ng Philippine Tourism natin, puro mga festival. Kung akong turista, ba't ako pupunta? Ayoko ng festival eh. Of course, may mga tao gusto ng festivals. Di ba? Pupunta sila. Mga tiyatihan, kung ano-ano pa dyan. Sidulog. But hindi po magbebenta sa mga tourist dyan. Ang magbebenta sa mga tourist, yung adventure, wellness, food, etc. Yun ang po advice ko. So lastly, dito po, sige, para makabawi naman tong magazine na ito, balikan nyo sila, sabi mo, this time authorized na namin, ito yung mga magandang tanawin na pwedeng pumunta, i-promote nyo ito. Can you do that?
Senator, unang-una po, hindi po ako nagagalit, nagtatrabaho lang po ako. Kaya siguro kaya po grabe po yung atake sa akin kaya hindi naman ako nagagalit, hindi na ako sumasagot, no. But I just wish to make clear na yung background ko po ay naging mayor po ako dun sa Cebu. Kaya yung manner, yung urgency, yung presence ng pagtatrabaho, ayun po yung background
Okay,
ko.
yes ma'am.
Hindi po